Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This has been Sneak Peek at Next Week with Kyle and Drew. This is episode 216. And Drew, before we get into what's coming out in comic book shops next Wednesday, and even sooner before we get into the top 10 sales for April, I got a little thing I saw about Loot Crate coming for May. This will give us a little bit of an even bigger sneak peek into May's numbers. Because, you know, whenever we have a Loot Crate comic drop, it always ends up in the very
$250,000, right?
Yeah, it ends up very big. But what do you think about Boom Studios' Bravest Warrior #1 being a special Loot Crate version?
What is that?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay. It's their first issue, so okay. I don't know. Is it a relaunch or a brand new property? Or
Tales from the Hollow John. It's one of these. I'm just looking at the cover of it. It's got like 8 different people on the cover as creators. Loot Crate incentive. It's kind of that a little bit of an all ages style with a lot of little loot crates running around on it. So
okay.
I
Cool.
think we talked at one point about Bravest Warrior, and we looked at it as one of the Boom Studios items, but I don't think we were too impressed on it necessarily as our part. But with it being in the Loot Crate, I'm very curious to see what the numbers will be, and of course, it's going to be battling back and forth with Secret Wars to see who's going to be at the top of the chart.
Well, let's just pencil Bravest Warrior in at 300,000.
Okay.
Right?
More than likely. If
300,000 plus, and Secret Wars isn't going to do more than that, right?
I wouldn't think so. So we think we can pencil in Boom Studios for the #1 comic for the month of May.
Yeah, and that'd be the 6th publisher to get the #1 slot, and bully for them, right?
Yeah, so Loot Crate bolstering and completely changing the landscape of comic books. But I just saw a sneak preview of the things in your May Loot Crate for those of you coming up. Just know it looks like there's going to be a comic. Boom Studios' Bravest Warrior #1.
Very cool. As you know, I last episode I called my shot on the Archie #1, and I'm thinking $500,000.
Okay,
thinking exceeding $500,000. I'm kind of banking on it being in a Loot Crate, but maybe not. Maybe not if the timing is the same as this. I think it's a June release, right?
I believe so.
I don't know if they do comics back to back, so I might miss that one a little bit.
I believe they do comics back to back. I think I remember getting a Batman and then a Star Wars in consecutive months, but I cannot remember.
Okay, and they you know, you take the superstar creative team, you take the possibility of a Loot Crate, you take the fact that I guess they've secured space at Walmart and Target.
I heard that, and
that's going to be crazy big. Although that probably won't get reported to Diamond. Because one of our listeners was asking, you know, are those Walmart and Target numbers? It was Wade Ledden who asked, would Walmart and Target be counted in Diamond numbers? And I don't think it would.
I don't believe so, because those are your newsstand copies, I believe is what they call those.
Yeah, so that would be. I don't know where would those get reported in Bookscan, or they would get reported in something else.
I think it might be all lumped into one now, because, you know, you've got these things going to Borders and Half Price Books and stuff at times, and there's, I believe, still all counted for these. But I unfortunately don't know the metrics on that.
And another listener, Chris Hobbs, also weighed in on this topic and said, with the buzz surrounding Afterlife with Archie and the long lineup of quality people working on the book, it's a very good possibility that they will do outrageous numbers. Plus, you know, those millions of variants. So we don't. What is it? 40 plus? Is that what?
40 plus. Like when we're talking about Borders and Walmart, are they just simply getting cover A's with a newsstand variant, or are they getting their own versions?
Target,
sorry.
Borders.
I don't know.
That's still around?
Yeah, I think there's bookstores nowadays still. I don't know.
Barnes and Noble. That's the only one I know that's left. And then you if you weigh in on the nostalgia value, this he goes on to say there's a nostalgic value, and if you think about that, that's what kind of fueled Star Wars numbers, was the nostalgia, and that might even push it up even higher. So yeah, but I think 500,000 is well within the possibility there.
Absolutely. I don't think it overtakes Star Wars. I think there's a little something more behind the Star Wars crowd, but I definitely see the numbers being bolstered. I definitely see 40 or 50 plus covers. You got people like me. I think I ordered 3 different covers on that. Yeah. So, mix all that stuff in. Possibility of a Loot Crate pushing even higher. Absolutely, 500,000 is not a hard job. And there we have our 7th different publisher.
Yeah, that would be 7 if it holds true.
Yeah,
if it holds true.
Absolutely.
Now, Valiant, the publisher, is doing something crazy. They announced a new limited series, Book of Death: Legends of the Geomancer, which, on its face, is really no big deal. But it turns out it's going to be a retailer incentive limited series. So, whereas sometimes when you chase those variant covers, you have to. They're 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s, or something like that, and so the retailer has to buy 25 or 50 in order to buy that single issue. Well, they're going to have to buy 25, I believe it's 25 copies of another Valiant book in order to qualify to purchase one Book of Death, Legend of the Geomancer.
So buy any 25 feathers and you're eligible to buy a Geomancer. Or is it a specific boom?
No, it's Valiant. This is Valiant.
Sorry, Valiant. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm crossed. I looked at something different.
Yeah, this is Valiant. So,
Valiant. Okay.
And so they have to order 25 of Book of Death, which is to order the Legends of the Geomancer Book of Death series, limited series. So there's a Book of Death, bunch of Book of Death things going on, and this special 4-issue limited series is going to be incentive only. So that is being offered at DCBS for $20. So there is no regular version of this. There's only the incentive version of this thing available, which is going to make it incredibly scarce, I would think.
But worth an $80 flyer?
Yeah, you want to pay $80 for a 4-issue miniseries? And I'm kind of upset with. I don't know if I'm upset with Valiant. I'm kind of upset with DCBS for, not taking it on the chin a little bit for this, because I think those comics that they have to order 25 of them, are fully returnable. So there's no risk. I don't see why they are passing on the full brunt of the cost of that to the the collector.
Well, for all the things that DCBS does right, variant covers, it does absolutely awful. It is always way overpriced on absolutely everything. It overcharges for 1 in 10.
Yeah, they do gouge.
Overcharges for 1 in 25s and everything there. And way hardcore. So if you are looking for variants of anything, DCBS is
not
horrible.
the place. Not the place to go. They totally gouge you on those. It's nice to have one guaranteed that you're going to get it, but yeah, you pay through the nose for them and overpay. I would say more than double what you pay at a regular comic shop.
Yep, exactly.
And that's unfortunate. And here, I just think if you have a fully returnable comic, then you don't have any risk. So therefore, you're making us, your customer, pay for the investment that you're doing for the Book of Death. You're going to keep those 25 and just give us the one that you get, the incentive one. But you're making the customer pay for all those Book of Death, right?
You know why? Because they can.
Yeah, I'm not letting Valiant off the hook either. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to hurt them in the long run. I don't know. I don't read that many Valiant, so I'm not a big Valiant person. So I don't know. This doesn't affect me that much. Mm-hmm. I wasn't probably going to buy this anyway. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm not going to go for it. I don't care. It's just an odd way to, you spend all that time and art writing a full 4-page mini that
4 issues.
400 people are going to read.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't even know if there's going to be a digital. Will there be digital equivalents? I haven't heard yet.
Sure, there will be, in some capacity. If not legal, then illegal.
Maybe just wait for the trade on this.
Or trade, yeah.
I mean, you'll have to wait for the trade. If there is a trade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's an incentive comic, I don't know, man. That's crazy. I wouldn't spend $80 for a 4-issue miniseries.
And Book of Death, is that a title that's been out for a while?
I don't know. It could be an old Valiant thing that they're bringing back up.
I'm just wondering, do you have a hardcore Book of Death audience that you're going after? Because if not, you're pretty much only trying to get speckers.
It could be, maybe it's like an event for them. I probably should have done some research on this.
Well, it's just a curiosity, because this is the first time I've seen that kind of thing happen.
Yeah. I think this is the first time there's ever been an incentive-based series. And so that's weird. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's a 1 in 25 incentive. Yep. And $20 to get it from DCBS. I don't know what other comics shops will do. And I'm also curious about incentives too. When you reach the 1 in 25 threshold, do you just at that point is the spigot on? You can buy as many as you want, or you're allowed to buy one
for
at that first 25
hit, yeah.
For every 25. I'm not sure how that works, because if it is, you get to 25 and then you can buy them as many as you want. Well, then I am really mad at DCBS, because spread over their customer base, that wouldn't cost them anything. Yeah. That would. So I'd be curious of how that works, and I wonder if it's like a standard across the board how they do it, or it's depending on the publisher, whether they turn it on or whether you can just buy one. You're only allowed to buy one, or you can buy as many as you want.
Interesting stuff. I do not know the answers, unfortunately.
Once more, we'll do some more research.
That's exactly right. Drew, you want to follow me over to previewsworld.com? We'll get started on our sneak peek at next week.
No. We got to do the top 10.
Oh, that's right. We've got the whole top 10. I completely forgot.
Yeah, we got numbers, man. We're going to go to Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.com homepage. Scroll down and we get a sneak peek at April 2015's numbers. And Drew, we see that Star Wars is right at the top.
Which one is it?
Star Wars number 4.
Wow, Star Wars number 4 is number 1.
Number 1. Star Wars number 4, number 1 still. And this is a month that had Batman 40, many Convergence titles as well.
None of the actual Convergence minis made the top 10, but 4...
Did you actually think they would?
I don't know.
Oh, there's no way. Like I was saying with this, I think Convergence actually dropped the numbers quite a bit on these kind of titles.
But 5 issues of the miniseries made it, which was interesting.
Yeah. I think they're still sitting in comic book shops, and they've got asterisks on them, which I believe means they're returnable. I think half of those are going back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if they're returnable, which... Then, it's going to be... They're all going to go back.
Because they're still there. I mean, I'm not being mean, but a lot of them are still sitting there.
Actually, I think the miniseries is selling a little stronger than those little 2-issue things are selling. Those are the ones I'm seeing sitting on the shelves. I don't know.
That is one.
I think it's still, there's plenty of the miniseries out there as well, but it's those 2 shots that are, I just see them languishing on back issue shelves already. Mm-hmm. And nobody getting them. Let's see. We don't have a single image title. DC actually outgunned Marvel this time around with only 4 Marvel titles, which they got the top Star Wars. They've got rank 5 Darth Vader, number 4. They had Kanan the Last Padawan, number 8, and Princess Leia, number 3, number 10. So. If it wasn't for having that Star Wars license, Marvel would have been booted out of the top 10, huh?
Are each and every one of these books over 100,000?
No.
Okay.
No way.
It's a question.
It is a question, but I can't imagine that. Star Wars 4?
It's a question. Star Wars 3 was 161,000 copies.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Now, Vader 4 being up there, Vader 3 was only 85,000.
There you go.
But Kanan number 1 being under 100,000?
Yeah, looks that way.
And then how much did these Convergence titles drop? Because let's look. We got our Batman. We got Batman 40 sitting at number 4. We got our typical Batman. Batman usually sells 115,000, 120,000 in a given month. So
okay, here's what
a lot of people found out early about some of the interesting things happening in there. So do we think it went up at all? I'm thinking I'm going to say 125,000 for Batman number 40.
Okay. Because it's in the second printing already.
Yeah, also a second printing, and actually the second printing has sold out. They have immediately gone to a third already of Batman 40.
You know what? It is interesting because Darth Vader number 4 would have been the first one you could have ordered after reading that issue number 1.
And I think sales would have went up in that.
It was a good issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so those that were conservative in their orders this would be their course correction. That's quite possibly could be. I don't think Convergence number 2 can. That's the one. Rank 6 there. I can't see that being over 100,000.
Okay. I'm just curious. And Vader number 3 being a very low number. Vader number 3, I went out and grabbed 3 extra copies because it was a lower print than it should have been. Immediately sold through and went to a second print in and of itself.
Oh, okay. You never let your brother know about that.
I did because it had the first character on it. Remember, I was talking about her first appearance being very sought after.
You did.
I legitimately said that to both you and our audience, I believe.
That's true. Oh yeah.
But I'm just if you're looking at Convergence 0 and 1, both being over 120,000, I'm saying over 125,000. We're looking for 150. I'm probably thinking from both of those two. Do we think number 2 drops 50,000?
I gotcha. Okay, now you're talking me into it.
Okay.
And you think Kanan stayed over 100,000?
I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't know. I think it's possible.
If it's a fully returnable book, if Convergence is a fully returnable book, mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you order 50 copies of each? If you're a small shop,
yeah,
it could be huge.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking no, because Princess Leia was 161,000 for number 1, but immediately dropped to about 80 or 90 for number 2. So now I'm convincing myself that just Kanan has an obnoxiously low print run.
Right.
A lot to think about. I'm going to be very, very curious Monday when the legitimate numbers come out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, with Convergence being returnable, and the numbers are weird. Also, I don't understand a 0 being ahead of a 1. I'm not sure. Do we really fall for that kind of thing and overorder 0 issues?
That is weird because, they shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't have, unless they're very equal.
Yeah. Which normally I don't believe they are, but with them all being in the same given month, that may skew the numbers. I know with a lot of things that put out a 0 mm-hmm. the month before a 1, the 1 is almost always higher. But I guess when you're ordering them complete in bulk, you're just doing your 0s and 1s mm-hmm. about the same amount.
Well, it looks like Convergence has fueled DC enough to make a respectable showing, not only in the top 10 with 6 of the 10 titles, but also in the market shares. Mm-hmm. They are up to almost 31% in the dollar share, with their unit share almost at 34%. Still lost out to Marvel, who had 34% in dollar share and 36% in unit, but very close this time around. It's a respectable 2-horse race again. Image still around 11 for both dollar share and unit share. And then we dwindle down. IDW at 6% dollar, almost 5% unit. Dark Horse 3.65% dollar and almost 3 for unit. Boom at 2 for both. Dynamite 2 for both. And then everything else. Titan, Avatar, Oni, all under 1% of market share. So, interesting, right? It looks like Convergence really helped them out. Leading into, I'll be anxious to see what the next month is after everybody read this stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, it wouldn't be reflected because the stores had to order them blind.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, they could still be up there with their. I wonder if were the 2 shots returnable? Do we know?
Ooh, that's a good one. I do not know. I would say DC would be really dumb to do that, knowing that those things are going to probably sit on shelves. I don't think they would do that. I think their best bet is for retailers to go, oh, crap. Yeah, order a few.
Yeah. Let's see. April of this month, April was up, let's see, wow, up 20% over April of last year. That's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, that is amazing. If that's sorry, I got lost and didn't follow you to where you were going.
Yeah, I'm in the chart above the top 10.
Ah, I gotcha.
I don't know why they're comparing April 2015 versus March 2014, but that's a huge, giant number increase. I don't know why that's apples and oranges. I'm not sure why we're doing that.
Yeah.
But April 2015 versus April 2014 is a big jump also.
Okay, I see those. Yeah, those numbers are okay. Gotcha.
Total comics and graphic novels together, very healthy 20% increase.
Star Wars helping the industry
over last year, yeah. And year to date, this up to all of 2015 versus all of 2014 to this date, comics up 15%, and graphic novels up 4%, for a total increase of 12% in dollars and almost 15% in units, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Pretty good. Yeah, like that.
Anything else in the top 10 sneak peek we get from Comic-Con?
I thought it was kind of interesting to see that Marvel and DC both shipped 88 comics.
Very good.
The same number of comics. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Comic 88.
Yeah, and IDW was actually. Oh, well, I guess if you add their graphic novels and comics together, they were the third highest shipper instead of Image.
Mm-hmm. Image was 74. They're not doing any magazines and just a few graphic novels.
Yeah. So, yep, that's pretty interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what the real numbers are, and I like your idea. You're talking me into at least like 7 or 8 of them being over 100,000 now.
Yeah, we shall see. Very curious when we get the raw data on Monday. So, Drew, you follow me over to previewsworld.com. Before we get there, I want to note something on the homepage of previewsworld.com. The second item on the latest news, Marvel announces Darth Vader and Star Wars director's cuts. You and I banty about a lot about director's cuts, their value, their not value, their collector's value. Do we like them? Do we love them? Do we hate them? A few of them have gone back for second prints. I don't remember this in our previews for a pre-order, but it said it is coming to shops in June.
Huh.
Yeah.
Was that in the previews?
I literally just said I don't remember seeing that in previews.
Huh. Comic shops this June for Star Wars and Darth Vader director's cuts.
Mm-hmm. These are ones that I would be interested in owning, the director's cut. We haven't seen a lot of appreciating value in these as far as the collector's market is concerned. Harley Quinn, of course, went to a second print and had the first print of the director's cut slightly sought after, but nothing crazy.
What's the price, you think?
Haven't they all been like $6 or something like that? But these, I'd say $7.
$6.99 or something like that.
They usually have black matter sketches, concept art.
I would only
drafts.
Get the Darth, I think.
Okay, you'd be more interested in the Darth than the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How about you?
I'm interested in owning both of these, just for myself. Just for my collection, I like having those in there. So I'm going to do a little research and find out if I missed the boat, if I can jump back and collect them, or if I have to run to an LCS on drop date on these.
I will draw up our online retailer a quick email and find out.
Curious enough.
How much they are, because, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to click upcoming releases. I'm going to be taken to a page that shows us what's coming out in our LCS May 20th, 2015. Follow Drew and myself as we tell you what you need to pick up a few extra copies of, or what you just need to be reading along with us. So, Drew, let's start where we always start, in Dark Horse.
Well, I was actually composing my email, but...
Did you forget we were doing a podcast at this moment? So.
Are we doing a podcast?
I apologize. Should we put a pin in this and we'll come back to you? Or should I vamp for the next 15 minutes?
No, I'm getting there. It's just loading slow. And these are releases for May 20th, right?
You got it.
And you're in Dark Horse, where we always start?
Again, had you been listening, you'd know right all about this.
Well, I would like to direct you to Resident Alien Sam Hain
Just
mystery.
about to tee you up for that, because I know you've been into that Resident Alien series.
Yeah, I did read the Zero issue, and it was really good.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it just picked up right where the last one left off. I love these little series of miniseries, and it's a really great story. Probably never going to be worth anything, but they're really good to read. So
now you're always specking back and forth on Dark Horse Presents, and here we have Dark Horse Presents 2014 at number 10. And I'm clicking in that to see what's in it. Dennis Calero and Various.
yeah, it didn't look like there was anything
Yeah, nothing
interesting.
that really catches my eye.
I think this the last issue of. It might be the last issue of Mind Management at 33.
Okay. Seems an odd number to end on.
And I see that they're soliciting a new management series from Dark Horse, also written by Matt Kent, coming up in August. So it looks like he's going to end this one and just reboot it.
Huh, very cool. And you'll follow him along, of course?
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. Archie versus Predator, number 2 of 4. I enjoyed the interesting covers we had for Archie versus Predator on its first one, and there's some neat covers, it looks like.
I read that.
Did you? What'd you think?
Horrible.
Gotcha. So pick it up, look at the covers, giggle, and put it right back.
It was silly. It was really silly.
Alright. Let's head on down to DC as we dwindle down Convergence month.
Oh, God. Still going on, isn't
Convergence number 7, that is second to last issue of the mainline Convergence title. We have a bunch of number 2s in here. I will be reading the new Teen Titans, maybe Batman and the Outsiders. I was pleasantly surprised by the number 2 that I read, much better than the number 1.
Oh.
It honestly probably could have just simply been a standalone. I would have read that and been like, oh, that's neat. I wouldn't have cared. It means nothing to me, but it was a complete story. So the number 2 is looking much, much, much better than the number 1s. Not
But
difficult to
is
do,
it is it a sense of... Well, we can talk about this in the review section.
This will be something for our other podcast.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Yeah. Infinite Crisis, Fight for the Multiverse, number 11.
Digital first?
This is digital first, so I've read all these already. And I just don't know how far behind this is. I'm not sure which part this is collecting. It must be collecting...
Are these
30...
2 per or 3 per?
I think they're 3 per.
So if this is number 10, did you say, or number 11? That'd be 21.
So
that'd be 21 and 22.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds about right. And it was a really good story. There's 7th issue of Kitchen.
Yeah, I started off with you on the first 3 issues of this, and then fell off the wagon, of course. I really enjoyed it when I did read it. 7 of 8, so this one and one more after it.
So you enjoyed the first 3, but jump ship anyway.
I just kind of forgot to read it, and then forgot to catch up. But one of those things. That happens a lot when you're... I don't know, Convergence just had me skipping a lot of DC, and since it was in there, I skipped a few too many.
Yeah, it was. It's been good. I really liked it. It's Ollie Masters doing the writing and Ming Doyle on art. Really good stuff.
Gotcha. Mad Max Fury Road, Nux and Immortal Joe number 1. I have been hearing nothing but amazing things about this movie over the last week, since a lot of people started watching it ahead of time, and the reviews for it have started coming out and anything. It looks phenomenal.
Does it open this weekend?
I think so. I believe it may have just opened or something like that.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah,
it looked really good.
All the trailers have been really good. So there may be something behind this series. So I am going to run out and grab this book. I don't know what its tie-in is or what, but it's with the movie being as popular and seems to be garnering huge buzz on Metacritic and everything else for being very, very, very well done. I can see some people wanting more from this world, the Fury Road, and what's been current on it. So I can see good things from it. For $5, it's worth a fire.
I don't understand the Nux and Immortal Joe.
Nor do I.
Yeah, so must be the characters, maybe?
It's very possible.
The main character?
Yeah.
IDW, we finally are getting Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which I think has been delayed at least 2 weeks.
It's telling us a March solicit, so it's within the same month it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true. But it was. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to come out a couple weeks ago.
Gotcha. Donald Duck #1. You've been reading some of these.
I read Scrooge, and it was pretty good, but not my bag.
Romano Scarpa and Varios with cover by Juan Ramon Piculo. Now, a lot of these are foreign translations. Is that what it is? Because I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think they're Italian. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Italian names being translated into English on these.
There's the second issue of Drones. I like the first issue, so I'm going to be checking this out. And there's the first issue of Insufferable by Mark Waid. And so that might be good.
What happens when your crime-fighting sidekick grows up to be an arrogant, ungrateful douchebag who makes Kanye look humble? Worse, what on earth could force the two of you together for one last case? Nocturnus and his former protege, Galahad, will find out if they don't kill one another first. All right, that sounds really cool, actually.
That's a really good
and
solicit.
If it uses the word Kanye West and douchebag in the solicit, you have my attention. Gem and the Holograms #3. A lot of people have really been enjoying this comic. The trailer for the new movie came out, and everybody says it looks like the worst movie ever created. So there's two minds there.
Oh, really?
Yep. Transformers, Winter World, Frozen Fleet #1. What do we got here? Is this Alright, so we've got Chuck Dixon.
Okay.
Art by Steve. So it's Steve with an E in front of it. I'm freaked out now. Steve Poles. The Frozen Fleet begins. Scully and Wynn aren't traveling alone anymore, but will secrets revealed turn tentative friends into certain enemies on the big ice. So I don't know if Winter World is an existing title that I'm not catching up. It's just a one of 3. So
yeah,
nothing there for me, unfortunately. Drew, that's all I've got in IDW. You want to head with me down to Image?
Yes, sir.
The Fade Out #6. You've been reading Fade Out.
Yeah, loving it. Only 2 months behind now, so we're catching up.
Yeah, rolling now. Kaptara #2. Of course, that is Chip Zdarsky's writing.
You like that first one?
I liked it better than you did, but neither of us thought it was anything to write home about. So
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know that this one's make or break, but it can easily kick me off if it's not even close to good.
Yep.
Secret Identities 4. I don't mind this book as I'm reading it, but then once I close it, I'm like, I don't know that I liked it, so I don't know that I'm continuing it. So it depends on what mood I'm in when Secret Identities 4.
Yeah, I thought I had talked you into dropping that book.
Yep, I think you have.
Stray Bullets, Sunshine and Roses, David Latham book is issue number 4, and this has been really fun. It's a dark black and white comic. It's really good. Makes me want to go chase down some of the older Stray Bullets that he did.
I've been trying to get you to chase down a Stray Bullet for years.
Hey, ouch. Ooh.
Sorry.
Tithe #2.
Cannot wait for Tithe. This book is the top book I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, we really loved the first issue, and that's Matt Hawkins over at Top Cow, and I can't wait to see what this one does.
Another megachurch is robbed despite the FBI surveillance. Tensions ratchet up as a member of Samaritan's heist team is killed, and the Robin Hood act isn't quite as fun as they thought. I'm going out and get the cover B, so I have a full run of A and B for a while on these, because I just ordered cover A on the #2. So I'm going to hunt down some extras on this because I just really believe in this title, and I like it.
Nice. Valhalla Mad #1. This is written by Joe Casey, and art is Paul Maybury. Their names are legend. The Glorious Nox, Greg Horn the Battleborn, Iago the Irritator. 3 warrior gods vacationing on Earth, just looking to get their drink on and have a good time. Join the drunken festivities with Toastmasters Joe Casey and Paul Maybury. The new mythology begins now. Feels very Rat Queens-ish. And I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's worth a shot, definitely. For $3.50, I'll give it a good time.
You think it'll be funny, or just try to be funny?
I like Joe Casey. I can't remember what I like of his. He wrote something that I enjoyed. Was it Bounce?
He writes sex.
Was it Bounce as well that he was on?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I enjoyed him in my run of the Bounce. I did not jump on Sex. So Joe Casey actually liked the way he writes. So it's for that and the premise alone. I'll give it a shot, but I'm not real high on it. Witches number 6.
Yeah, we have the 6th issue of Witches, and it's finally the first arc is over. It feels like this has taken a while to get there. Is that not true?
That is not true.
It's a couple of months behind, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is actually. Yeah, this is a January solicit, so it's 2 months behind. It looks like overall. This is the end of the final, or of that first arc. Really ramped up. Ended on a pretty good cliffhanger for 5. So they've got some wicked stuff to pick up in this issue, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with this. Drew, that's all I've got in our beloved Image. Let's head on down to Marvel.
Well, we've got an A-Force number 1, which is written by C. Willow Wilson and Marguerite Bennett, your favorite writer.
With art. What?
You don't like her.
Okay.
We
I
don't like her. We don't like any of the things she's ever done or touched or been involved in. Art by Jorge Molina and cover by Jim Chung. It's all female Avengers type of team, I think.
Yeah.
Marvel's Mightiest Women finally get their own explosive series.
Yeah, so I see Spider-Woman in here, and
She-Hulk,
and
Medusa.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Were there any? There wasn't like a Silk or a Spider-Gwen or any. Yeah, That's right. Spider-Gwen was in the background, but I did not see Silk, if I remember correctly.
There's Captain Marvel. There's tons. I think every female character seems to be on that cover.
I have 000 interest in this, especially with it being a Secret Wars tie-in.
Yeah.
You never know with these kind of things. It's probably good to have one in case there's a first appearance of something in there. If I remember correctly, it wasn't being given the appropriate discount through DCBS, so I did not even order it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't giving you the number 1 swing, so I said nope.
It wasn't half off.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Daredevil 15.1.
What's that about?
I don't know. I thought you're my resident Daredevil expert, so I come to you for all things Daredevil.
So
Mark
you're deferring to
Guggenheim and Various, art by Peter Krause and Chris Samney. The Life and Times of Daredevil, 50 years in the making.
Oh, okay. So it's some kind of anniversary thing?
Mm-hmm. $5 a piece. Some sort of anniversary. I don't have pages or anything other than that. But, what do you think?
Oh, gotta read it.
Good.
Yeah, definitely gotta read it. I don't know if it's gonna have any value, of course. Looks like there's some a lot of Star Wars or Secret Wars. Star Wars, Jesus, a lot of Secret Wars tie-ins.
Deadpool's Secret Wars looks kind of fun. It's Cullen Bunn on that one, so I don't know if that actually ties into Secret Wars or it's just another fun little romp that you. Not a Secret Wars tie-in. That's what I thought. So, just another creative title for a small miniseries starting Deadpool. This is 1 of 4.
Well, what does SWA mean then?
Secret Wars.
So it is a Secret Wars tie.
It is not a Secret Wars tie.
But these other ones are, right?
Correct.
The ones that have SWA? I don't know what's going on.
Okay. But if you read this solicit, it says not a Secret Wars tie-in. Well, it is, but not that Secret Wars.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Moon Knight is staying clear of Secret Wars, which is nice.
Because we don't think it'll survive it.
Because it's not going to make it much longer. Powers is also staying clear.
Now, Masters of Kung Fu number 1. Okay, this is This is one of those just like Planet Hulk and Battle Worlds.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
I never did find out what the heck is going on with these. Can you explain to me, like, okay, Planet Hulk number 1, is this the same Planet Hulk that I have sitting on my shelf?
I don't know.
Because I
don't think so.
Okay, it's Greg Pak.
I think it's new.
All right, I don't know what to figure
out. I mean, I think it's like one of the story arcs emanating from Secret Wars is, I don't know. I don't care enough to check it out, I guess, because I've got such event fatigue right now that just looking for anything else that's not some kind of line-wide crossover.
And I was trying to read a synopsis on exactly what the Secret Wars is in this battle world, and I'm still a little bit cross-eyed. It was really tough. So, I'm trying, but I'm not into Secret Wars.
5th issue of Star Wars.
I am into that.
I am into that as well. Good stuff. And who knew that I would be loving all these Star Wars books?
Marvel did.
They did.
They did.
And there's going to be a Lando, right?
Yes, Lando #1.
That's kind of cool.
Battle World Ultimate Ends #1, 1 of 5. That is the death of our Ultimates universe within the.
I'll be reading that one. I will be reading that one.
That's
just to
why
see
I
what
asked.
they do to Miles, my poor Miles. They're going to hurt him. Or they're going to make him join the Avengers.
I skipped over Spider-Verse #1 Secret Wars. Now, I enjoyed everything Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I assume, them murdering that timeline.
Or revisiting.
I thought things were supposed to be murdered when they did this kind of Secret War stuff.
I think one of us is going to have to bite the bullet and actually find out what...
Crap. Okay.
What this is all about.
You take the Ultimates one that you were going to take anyways. I'll take this Spider-Verse one. So at the very least, we're covering them. Are we taking the main line?
Yeah. I'll start it. I started Convergence. I owe it a couple issues.
Should I start Battle World?
Oh, God.
I know.
Sounds horrible, doesn't it?
Listeners, just know that if I'm doing this, I'm doing it for you. Because on my own, I never would. I'm going to give Battle World at least 1.
I would think Planet Hulk would be your type of deal.
I see. Okay, I want Old Man Logan and Planet Hulk. I know those stories, so
Okay.
I'm probably going to touch into them, but I just don't understand what they are at all. I don't understand if I'm going to pick this up and be like, "Hey, I own this." They're just selling me the same book again, or what? So
that would be dirty pool.
Would it be par for the course? I think it might.
Yes, it would.
All right. Anything else with our good friends in Marvel?
I don't think so, no.
Then come on with me down to comics and graphic novels in the back half. This is your Boom Studios, your Dynamite, your Dynamic Forces, and all your other fun stuff in the back of the book. This is where we really, really, really have to dig.
And there's something called Carpe Noctem, #1. It's
Seize the night.
Okay.
Carpe diem is seize the day. I believe Carpe Noctem is seize the night.
Oh, very cool. Way to pull that. Hashtag Comics is the publisher.
Oh,
It's written by Martin Dunn with art by Derek Fish and challenging. Can't be challenging as a name, as a person's name. What? What is that? That's crazy. But they are hashtag comics, so I guess that's why. Thrown into the tumultuous underworld of Las Vegas's nightlife, writer Chelsea Nobles is empowered as a scribe to notorious Sin City entrepreneurs, Jace and Dante Rivera. With the brothers at odds and the elder gods looming, Chelsea is forced to face her role in the future of Carpe Noctem. I don't think so.
We skipped over one I want to visit. Accelerators Momentum #1, 1 of 4. This is the Accelerators from Blue Juice Comics that I read 2 years
Oh!
ago. This is their continuation of this. Written by R.F.I. Porto. I know him better as Ronnie Porto. Gavin Smith, big fan of Gavin Smith, met him up at Comic-Con, and he was super, super nice to me. So, big fan of Gavin Smith doing the art still on that one. Same person who did the art on the first one. He and Tim Yates doing the cover on that. So, lost in the future with a time machine that can only go forward, our group of accidental time travelers begin their search for a way home. As they look for clues in the ruins of the old world, something monstrous watches them from the shadows. I enjoyed the 6 issues of the original Accelerators, and I like that they're doing an additional one. So
you read them?
I did.
You read them back to back to back to back to back?
Yeah, this is one thing I just saved. It came out bi-monthly. I assume this one's probably going to do the same. So I'll continue on it, and I will attempt to read these as they come in so we can possibly talk about them, see if it's something you would be interested in.
Nice.
And I'll try to see if it's something that you can pick up without reading the first 6.
O Killstrike, number 1 of 4-issue miniseries. So Kyle's out. It's by Boom Studios. It's got that art style that Boom does so well. It's really solid art on the cover. Written by Max Bemis, art by Logan Faerber, and let's see what this is about. Jared, a new father, fears parenthood. An old comics fan, he turns to them for comfort. But when... What?
I just laughed. Okay,
okay.
No worries.
But when he unwittingly lets loose his favorite character, Killstrike, a single-minded, vengeance-loving anti-hero onto the world, Jared must find a way to send him back before he harms all the people he loves the most. But before that...
What was the name of this one?
O Killstrike.
O Killstrike. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble finding it.
Killstrike leads Jared on a quest of self-discovery to make him realize the kid who loved this character is not the man he has become. Wasn't there a comic that Image put out that we read that where the comic creator his creation came to life?
Yes, I have it. It's a 4-issue miniseries. I have all of them. It's worth absolutely nothing, and everybody hated it, and it died on the vine before the 4th issue. It was called Reality Check. Reality Check.
Yeah, that was it. Cool. I thought that sounded good, and I liked the way the cover looked, so I'm checking this one out. We also have Psycho Bunk. Oh, go ahead.
Ninjak number 3. Ninjak number 1 I read, and it was recommended to me that I continue on to number 2.
And you didn't?
But I'm going to, so I'm looking forward to 3. I'm going to read 2 and then 3, because from what I'm hearing, it's worth checking that out.
Cool. Psycho Bonkers number 1 of 5. This is from Aspen, written by Vince Hernandez, with art by Adam Archer. It's got that Aspen cartoony look to it, so
nope.
That's a turn off for me, but some other folks might like it. But it's a little too all ages looking for my taste.
Resident Evil. Sorry, I just saw that. I have to do
that. Yeah, you have to do that when you see that.
Yep. Cool. It's a storyline I don't know, unfortunately, to get into that one.
Don't see anything else.
We didn't do UFOlogy.
Oh yeah. That I forgot about that. That was I really enjoyed that first issue. I thought it was really solid, and yeah, check that out.
James Tynan the Fourth. Of course, writing that as well. This is number 2 of 6. All right, Drew. If there is nothing else that we want to click on and see what we got to do, then Drew, with our sneak peek of next week, every single week we tell our listeners what they're supposed to pick up, what we think they should pick up, an extra one, what they should be reading. So, Drew, I'm going to put you on the spot and say, what's the one book we need to be picking up?
Man. This is a tough one.
It's not a great spec week. It honestly isn't.
This is a tough one. Now, could the Douglas Adams crowd really make a fuss about the Dirk Gently holistic detective agency? Probably not. Valhalla Mad, I guess, would be my pick.
Way to sound confident in your pick.
But I mean, I'm more interested in that Boom O Killstrike. But it's a 4-issue mini. It's a Boom. None of the Boom books have really taken off that well. So, from a collector standpoint, so yeah, I'm going to go with Valhalla Mad. I'll take a flyer on that.
There you go. Of course, like I said, I'm going in big for Tithe number 2, but it's hard to tell on that one being number 2. It's not going to be as sought after. I mean, there's got to be something in these Marvel books with the Secret War starting. I just don't know. It's probably in your best interest to pick up an A-Force with that female supergroup and all the backing behind that. I mean, this book was announced on, I believe it was The View. There's a lot behind it. So it's probably worth picking up one of those just for spec alone. And I'm saying, go ahead and pick up Valhalla Mad number 1. An Image number 1, a decent creator. On a low spec week, that's always something that's worth grabbing one of.
So you're actually taking mine.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Well, I said I'm going to pick up Tide number 2, and I'm saying you should probably pick up A-Force number 1. But the only thing that I think will actually has the biggest upside is probably that Valhalla Mallet. You'll pick cover B on Telegram cover A.
Yeah, there you go. And Kill Strike.
Yeah.
Kill Strike.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know that we can end on that note now.
No.
But thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit, episode 216, I think. Yeah, episode 216. We want to invite you to do that with more confidence as well. We want to invite you to go to comicsfunprofit.com. Feel free to find our links to our Facebooks, Twitters, and email comicsfunprofit@gmail.com.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please feel free to give us a 5-star review. Move us a little higher to the top in our category on our podcast networks. Once again, I want to thank you for listening. For Drew and myself, see you.